The Queens District Attorney announces the takedown of a multi-million-dollar cargo theft ring allegedly operating out of JFK Airport. The group of 6 suspects are accused of forging documents for arriving cargo, using tractor trailers to haul away goods, and setting up buyers. Investigators say the merchandise totaled more than $6 million.
Hey, what's up? This your boy Big Man. You already know what it is. So Nicki Minaj has a longtime acquaintance and friend by the name of Candi World. Now, Candi World has gotten herself in a little bit of a dilemma, it seems. Now, allegedly, she was involved in one of the most elaborate airport schemes that's taken place since the famous Lufthansa heist that was displayed in the movie Goodfellas. Now, for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, if you like mob movies, go check out Goodfellas and you'll understand the significance of this heist. Now, this heist is said to be worth $6 million, and the specifics about this thing are crazy and very elaborate and made me want to laugh. I'm not even going to lie, because cats are really getting creative out here. Now, before we get into all that, do me a favor. Make sure we hit the like button, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and man, let's get it. All right, so now let's look at what we got so far and what we know. And from what took place and all the different news sources that are reporting on this case is almost a wrap. Now, I'm not saying that she's done, but Candi World, it might not be looking good for your girl. Now, I know this is all alleged, and I don't think anything that she did anything, because you're innocent until proven guilty, right? But this are the specifics so far. So 6 people, including airline workers, have been arrested in connection with a multi-agency investigation into a heist that took place at JFK Airport in Queens. Now, Nicki Minaj is from Queens. Her friend Candi World is from Queens, and she has a beauty supply shop where she sells a lot of different things in Queens. Now, if you were to go to her Instagram page for her beauty supply shop, you would look, and it looks pretty normal, man. There's nothing really alarming going on there. All you see is just wigs and stuff like that. She's posing in a couple of pictures or whatnot. Nothing really crazy. Then if you go to her private page, you'll see, man, it's kind of popping, man. She's got over 100,000 followers, and she's got a lot of the same things going on. So under Candi World, she's got that. And you could tell that, man, she's definitely all about fashion in her business. Now, what's being alleged is her business was being used as a stash house for stolen goods in an elaborate scheme that was taking high-end luxury goods from the JFK airport and reselling them and transporting them all over the country. So this is a very, very, very sophisticated effort on the part of the robbers to get these goods out and to cover their tracks. Now, I'm going to play this clip from ABC7 in New York, and basically, they're going to tell you about the specifics of the scheme, and then come back for my commentary where I break it all down.
Law enforcement officials charging 6 people today with 2 brazen heists at JFK Airport. Prosecutors say they stole cargo loads containing millions of dollars of designer products from Prada, Gucci, and Chanel. They later then resold the items. Eyewitness News reporter Mike Marza, live at Kennedy, with more. Mike.
And David, you know, as elaborate as these heists were, the district attorney says the investigation was even more complex. 25 local and federal law enforcement officials, some of them poring over hundreds and hundreds of hours of surveillance video. An investigation spanning 9 months that eventually busted this multi-million-dollar scheme. $6 million worth of merchandise, Chanel handbags and jewelry, Gucci purses, sunglasses and sneakers, Prada bags and accessories, all stolen in 2 complex heists. Investigators say by a ring of 6 thieves.
3 of the 6 individuals charged in this indictment are former airport service industry workers. They used their inside knowledge to gain access to Kennedy Airport.
They're accused of forging fake orders for the designer goods and hauling millions of dollars worth of merchandise from JFK Airport. The first heist happening back on January 31st of this year. The second, May 17th.
If you can smuggle things out of the airport, you can smuggle things into the airport, and that is unacceptable to me.
The DA says the thieves used a closed beauty salon in Jamaica, Queens to stash and sell the stolen items. One defendant is even accused of posting this video from Miami Beach's Fountain Blue Hotel, showing off this stunning ocean view. And some of the
So from the report, you can see that they had a pretty good scheme going. So they allegedly forged documents and paperwork that would let them get past all the security checkpoints in order to get to the goods that they were already set up to steal and take away. Now, all these goods were luxury goods like Prada, Gucci, Hermes, all the big brands who were waiting on their shipments. And it seems like they did a good job of covering their tracks as well. But a lot of things are leading back to none other than Candi World, who's also a friend of Nicki Minaj. Now, Nicki Minaj and Candi World, they haven't been seen together that often, but as recent as 2017, they took a picture where Nicki Minaj shouted Candi World out and let it be known that she's one of her best friends for life, claiming that she's her bestie and they've had a 20-year relationship. Now, Nicki Minaj is not implicated in this at all. The only person that's implicated in this at all is Candi World, and that's for this reason only. The shop they were using to stash the goods was allegedly her shop. The same shop that we saw the Instagram page for and we saw the pictures for, that was actually her shop. And you could start to look at things on her own Instagram that gives away some clues for those who are looking for them. Now, what do I mean? I mean, if you look at her Instagram page, you can clearly see that at about 18 weeks ago, things started to change. Now, 18 weeks ago was June 27th. And if you listen to the report, two of the crimes that were committed were actually in January of 2020 and May of 2020. And for some reason, about 18 weeks ago, you start to see Candi World's glow up on her Instagram page. You start seeing a whole different change. Now, I love New York City fashion. I love the heart of the city and how they like to go get it, man. It's a whole bunch of go-getters. It breeds an interesting type of mentality. So, folks, they definitely are about their money and being fly, and you can't replace those two things. You got to be fly at all times. And, man, when you see Candi World in her pictures after 18 weeks ago, you see a change in her glow. Now, she was already fly. I ain't going to say she wasn't killing it in the game. But, man, the change is dramatic. You start to see, the designer shades. You start to see pictures of her on private jets, drinking champagne and wine and stuff. And then you also see, just like you saw in the report where they were like somebody had taken a picture at Miami on the beach, she posted this picture and it looks similar to Miami on the beach. Now, I'm not saying that definitely implicates her in anything, but it's oddly familiar with a lot of the things that's going on in this case. And you could tell that she definitely had a glow up at about 18 weeks ago, which matches up to this case. Now, she's carried on her Instagram just the same. Nothing has changed. Everything's been normal. Business is normal. You couldn't tell anything was wrong. Which is kind of odd because from the report, they said that store was closed. So if that store is closed, how come she's still posting on Instagram like everything is operational and running? If she's not running it out of the store because of COVID, I understand that. But it just seems, man, maybe she was carrying on her business in other ways. Who knows? Now, I'm not saying this is facts because this is all alleged, but there's definitely a comparison you can draw there. Now, in the actual case, the three main suspects have been apprehended, along with another guy who they believe was trying to purchase some of the goods. And man, this thing plays out like a scene out of a mafia movie. It is very interesting. There were like so many different joint task force and operations working together in order to find this scheme and find out who made this heist. And the crazy part about it is, initially, they thought they got away with it. After they apprehended some of the folks in June, law enforcement said that they could see activity or behavior that made it seem like they thought they were in the clear and they had got away. But recently, all these folks have been arrested. And the crazy part is, Candi World, she's carried on business as usual on Instagram. If you check her personal Instagram, folks are still commenting in her page and stuff. And somebody even commented the fact that, because, okay, in the report, they also talked about the fact that they have 4 people apprehended and there's 2 people that they're still trying to get. So the rumor was that Candiworld was actually on the run, and somebody went into her comments on one of her posts just a couple of days ago and said, "Hey, ain't you supposed to be on the run?" And people, it was funny, man. It's just a funny moment. Now, she didn't comment back or anything like that, but man, if I was her, I'd be trying to lawyer up. I'm just saying, man, I'd be having to go to find me a good attorney or something, and maybe she's doing that right now because, word of mouth sometimes and things that spread in the street, they tend to grow legs, and you might as well kill it early, man. Cut off the head, make sure you're not implicated in any of this. Now, this is an interesting story because there hasn't been a heist this big since back in the day. And man, I'm sure it's going to gain more and more media attention, and I'm here for it. Now with that, this is your boy Big Man. Please hit that like button, please hit that subscribe button, and make sure you hit that notification bell so you get a notification every time I drop this hot content. And we out of here. Peace.